Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a great evening. Last night we were teased once again by Mother Nature. Big storms to the northeast, big storms south and to the southeast of us, and we had a couple of tornadoes in one cell move west of Wichita. Reported tornadoes, no reports of damage this morning. So got a little rain to the west of us, but most of the state, again, was left uncovered, with the rain going to Oklahoma, southeast Kansas, Missouri, etc. So Mother Nature's holding out on us, and we desperately, or not desperate, but we're starting to really feel the need for moisture. The weather people, the National Weather Channel, our local, they were frothing at the mouth last night. Potential tornado going through all this stuff, interrupting all night long, breaking into what little programming I saw. So they had fun with it all, but we're grateful that no damage was done, no tornadoes touched down that did any significant damage that I can tell. So we'll take some of that rain, Sandy. We need it. But here we are. The biggest dynamic we're going to face today is going to be the 30-year auction. Stocks around the world, minus China, were up. The E-mini rejected, didn't trade to our desired sell at 79 to 80, so the high was about 78. So it looks like a trading range, and when you look at this market, you can see a trading range. Now, if we look at the great big picture, we see a B right here, but it's real hard to move 30-year paper if the market's going down. So we like the market to the long side. Go to the longest line of letters and left click, and we've got a P right here. So last rotate down stopped at 11. We're 13.5. This one started up at 8, so we should have pretty good support in the 4 to 8 areas. So I'd like to buy 5s to 9s because they can't take the market straight up. But we're going to put a question mark at 13. We'll just have to see how it plays. And then 29 to 1. We do have some news. Jobless claims, 285. That will be the news focus. Wholesale inventories, plus 0.2. That's pretty much par for the course. Natural gas inventories, plus 10 BCF. And the 30-year auction. This is your news focus right here, jobless claims, and its impact on the E-mini. Then the direction of the E-mini will influence the market, but to move the 30-year paper, we've had 2 really good auctions, the 10-year and the 3-year. I haven't seen it reflected in price activity yet, so I think the market is headed higher. Resistance is at 16 to 20, so our first sell is 15 to 19, and 23 to 27. The knob spread is expanding. We can take a short with our setups, but right now we like the market to the buy side. Last night, financially, Greece made their payment to the IMF. They said they could do it this month. They won't be able to do it next month without some financing. And that's the reality. Russia has offered to, on paper, or at least in a press conference, lend them some cash to take care of the problems based on it being collateralized. So what are we going to give them? The beaches around Athens, the Parthenon, something like that. It's just a real dicey situation. They're broke. They've spent all the money they've had. They're borrowed up the hill. The only thing that will get them out of this temporarily is the rest of the European Union desire to keep them in the European Union, but Greek has basically said they can't pay their debt back, and they're right. They can't. It's pretty cut and dry. So the EU can keep this going at a very high cost. Okay, looking at, we've rejected prices above 5. The top end of the band is 7, so this 5 to 9 area is our sell 1. And then 15 to 19 is sell 2. Yeah, a 10-year bond at a negative interest rate. Can you imagine that? That's how scared people are now. Just, I got to put my principal someplace. I can't keep it in a mattress. Can't sleep on it. I'll park it in Switzerland, and I'm going to pay them to keep my money for you. I guess if you look at it as a, a bank deposit box or safe deposit box, that works. But this government intervention through central banks around the globe has got everything screwed up. And again, I'm just grateful I understand and know the short side of the market. At some point, that's going to pay off big time. I don't know when. Nobody does. But everything is turned upside down, and for the wrong reasons. It's self-aggrandizement, or it's just outright legalized political entrepreneurship. You're going to make as much money as you can, and probably the best example of that are the Clintons. And they've proven that if you keep your name in the political arena, that you can raise tons of money just off the idea that you might run for president at some point. So that's where we are today, a political entrepreneur class funded by the crony capitalists, and it's a pretty effective way to become a millionaire. Okay, so like the buy side would like to get it done at 25 or better. May have to pay 29s. Hard to take a market straight up, and again, the split's going to be the same. You're going to go, and in this case, you're going to do a 2 split. Go to the longest line of letters and left split. Left click and you got your split. Okay, looking at gold, we like the 90 to 95 area when we went home last night. That still looks good. So 95, 97 is buy 1. 90, 92 is buy 2. 5, got this volume right here from yesterday. We got the overnight session high, so getting stops above that. 3 to 5 is sell 1. I think coming off support right here, got a fair chance of being able to sell the 10 area, and then 9 to 11 will be sell 2. No news, no news overnight to really impact the trading. The Houthi rebels are knocking at the central bank's doors in Aden, trying to pull an ISIS maneuver like at Mosul, go in and rob it. Iran has put 2 warships next to our warships off of Yemen. It would, now of course, we're not going to attack or do them. We've given them the green light, but in normal circumstances, the drumbeat of war is getting louder, and anything can happen. Iran has gotten the deal of the century. We're going to fund them. We're going to release all their assets. We have codified their nuclear program. They're going to do everything. They're not going to show us their sites, and they get billions in return for making our administration, I guess, look good. Probably only in their own eyes. The rest of the world is saying it stinks. But in the past, nuclear weapons, the 4 major powers have gone out of their way to make sure nobody else got it. And that's changed right now. Right now it kind of looks like, well, anybody can have a nuke that can build one. And we'll have these little regional areas of balance where one person's nukes will offset the others. And that works well if you want to live, but it doesn't work well at all if you want to die because you think that's part of the prophecy, and that's what it takes. So that's where we find ourselves today. Crude oil. We liked yesterday coming off. Thought that we had a shot at 50. Really didn't break 51s. Had pretty strong selling. So it looks like we've got the buy zone is 50.50 to 51 right now, and we've got this spill from 52.50. So we had a 75 to the buck sell yesterday. Actually 25 to 50, then 75 to 52. Our number 2 area held. So number 2 is 75 to 51. Sell 1. 52 and a quarter, 52.50, sell 2. 51, 50.75, buy 1. And 50.50 and a quarter, buy 2. The Iranian warships is support for the crude oil market. Looking at the euro, it continues to sell. We had 107.50, 107.75 as potential support. And they got stops below 50, and that's where we find ourselves right now. So 107.50 buy 1, give or take. Then the 15 to 25 area buy 2. Actually, no, let's make it 107 even for buy 2. I think we break the overnight low. We're headed to 107. On the sell side, 90 to 108, basically selling into 108. And then last rotate up yesterday stopped at 40. We've got volume at 28, then 20 to 30 for sell 2. Pick up this high volume number right there. Okay, the E-mini. Again, I just want to point out that we are in a trading range, and we've got a clean break in the volume here in the 65 area. Then the next area where you see prices rejected, definitely below 40. So 35 to 40 is where we are. And we've got an attractor at 53 right down here. We're dealing with a P for the last 4 days. So we've got a seller 80 to as high as 90. So this 80 to 85 is where resistance is. And the top of the trading range is 80. So 80 to 85 is pretty good resistance. And right now 60 to 65 is pretty good support. China's market sold last night. Hong Kong, Japan, all of Europe are up. German industrial production was forecast to be plus 0.1. It came in plus 0.2, a mild beat, but their trade balance fell, so kind of offsetting. So right here, I mean, this is where resistance is. So 79.81, sell 1. Then that low volume number at 85, 84, 86, sell 2. They usually can get stops above the overnight session, but if we can't get through 78, that would be supportive information. We'll make 65, 67. Buy 2. First support's going to be at 70, 70 to 72. That's just support and resistance. There's no magic in those numbers. I think we're in a trading range. I think it holds. I think what the half the Fed governor said raise interest rates in June, half said be careful. Nothing has changed. Will they raise interest rates in June or not? Nobody knows. It'll take about 20 minutes to get everything up and posted. I will be back as soon as possible.